Butterfly swimmers can create propulsion without using the arms or the legs. It's free speed, and if swimmers do the right thing at the right time, it can happen in every stroke cycle. Hi everyone, Andrew here, helping you help your swimmers get faster. When it comes to creating propulsion, we all tend to think about swimmers using their arms and legs to move themselves down the pool. But there's another way that swimmers can create propulsion, taking advantage of the unique properties of water to create more speed with less effort. What's happening? As swimmers move down the pool, they pull water with them behind their body. It's an effect you see each and every time a swimmer finishes a lap. If you pay attention, there's always a wave of water that follows swimmers into the wall. You can especially see it when high-level senior males are racing over a short course 50-meter freestyle, and they bring that giant wave behind them into the wall. That's why swimmers need to swim under the wave in order to go faster. And again, that wave is traveling behind swimmers. So when does that wave catch up to swimmers? It catches up to them when they stop, when they finish a lap. Well, the same thing actually happens within a stroke cycle. If swimmers dramatically slow within a stroke cycle, that wave is going to catch up to them. And if they're in the right position when that wave catches up to them, that wave can actually push them forward. And so that's what's known as wave propulsion. So in butterfly, after swimmers execute their pull and their second kick, they're not creating any propulsion with their arms or their legs. And so there's going to be a loss in speed. And with that loss in speed, the wave behind them has not slowed down. It's going to catch up to them. It's going to push them forwards. But swimmers need to be in an effective body line in order to take advantage of that wave. So if swimmers can get their line right, if they can get their finish right, they can create more speed with zero effort, and they can do it with each and every stroke cycle. Let's take a look at when it's happening, as well as a couple key strategies that swimmers can use to take advantage of the effect. Now, just in case you're not sure about what I'm talking about in terms of the wave that's moving behind swimmers, let's take a look at it happening. So this is a 50-meter race, butterfly. You can see that wave travel behind her, then it hits the wall, and you see the same thing would happen with every swimmer. So again, she finishes, that wave comes behind her, and it finishes into the wall. So again, swimmers aren't pushing the water forward, it's traveling behind them, it's being pulled behind them, and then it moves past them when swimmers stop or they slow down significantly. So that wave of water has mass, it has momentum, and if it hits a swimmer, it's going to move them forwards, it's going to push them forwards, and that's the effect that we're going to take advantage of. So when is this happening in the stroke cycle? So as a swimmer finishes their pull here, at this point, they're no longer creating any propulsion. And so that's where you're going to see a loss in speed, and that's when the wave's going to catch up. That's what's going to push swimmers forward. So in almost all cases, it's very difficult to actually see this happen. It happens very quickly. The water moves very quickly, and swimmers are already moving pretty fast, and so it's not like they come to a stop and then get pushed forwards. They're still moving forwards, they're just not moving as fast, and that's when the wave catches up. So it's going to hit them right about there, and then eventually they're going to lose position, and the wave is going to move past them. So to make this effect impactful, what swimmers can do is when she finishes, you see one of the first things she does is she brings the legs up into line. That's going to improve her body line, allow her to be more level in the water. That's going to reduce the drag, and so the impact of the push behind her is going to be more significant in terms of improving her speed. The second thing she's going to do is optimize the exit of her arms. Now, swimmers are commonly taught to fully extend the arms here, and so when swimmers do that, they're not actually creating much more propulsion. And so you're probably going to see that loss in speed anyway, but what happens is if swimmers fully extend the arms, one, it's much more difficult to get them out of the water, and that actually creates a lot of resistance, and that slows swimmers down, and it delays their ability to lift the legs up in the water. So they will still slow down because they won't actually create more propulsion when they fully extend the arms, and then that wave's going to hit them, but they're going to be in a much less streamlined position, and that's going to result in a much smaller or possibly no increase in velocity. And so that's another reason why it's critical to exit effectively. One, swimmers need to be able to smoothly transition into the recovery, but two, it allows them to maximize the effect of wave propulsion. And so if we watch her exit, you can see the elbows are going to exit first. Her hands, you can actually see the back of her hands here because she has completely let go of the water. Rather than pressing back, she's let go of it. That allows her to recover much quicker. It minimizes the drag that she creates as she exits, and then she can get in to the streamlined position with her legs much, much sooner. And so when that wave hits her, and it's going to hit her right about there, then she's going to be in a much more streamlined position as opposed to having her arms still underwater and having her legs much deeper. Again, another reason why it's critical to exit. The wave is going to pass relatively quickly, and at some point, she's going to significantly lose her alignment. So right about there, she gets towards the second half of the recovery. You can see the hips drop there, the knees drop in anticipation of the next aspect of the stroke cycle. So at that point, one, the wave is probably already passed by then, and even if it hasn't for some reason, swimmers are going to hit the brakes again because they have to drop out of a line in order to set up for the next stroke cycle. Now you may be thinking, well, if they slow down again, won't there be a second wave? And that's not going to happen because that wave has already passed by them. That wave of water that's been pulled behind them is already gone. So further losses of alignment are not going to create another burst of wave propulsion. It's just going to cause a loss of speed. But of course, swimmers have to do that in order to get into the next stroke cycle. So again, she's going to enter here. She's going to smoothly transition to the exit, and you can see the elbows clearly exit bent. They clearly exit first, and then she's letting go of the water. You can see the top of her hand here. She has completely let go, and it's happened a little bit earlier. It's happened right about here. We just can't see that because of the bubbles, but right there, it's quite clear. And so that's going to allow her to transition quickly. It's going to allow her to get into that streamlined position so that as soon as that wave hits her, she's really aligned, she's able to take advantage of the effect, and she's got herself some free speed. And in a stroke, that's quite difficult. It's difficult to sustain speed, it's difficult to sustain skill. Every aspect of added propulsion is going to be very beneficial, especially when it doesn't cost anything for it to happen. Let's take a look at another swimmer from another angle. So if we watch here, you can see the elbows are leading the pull, exiting with bent arms, and then right as he exits the water, the legs immediately come up. That's when that wave's going to hit him. He's in a relatively streamlined position as best as possible. He's going to get as much of an impact from that wave as possible. And then once the arms enter the second half of the recovery, you can see the shadow of his arms through the water here. They're towards the front of the stroke now. That wave's gone. He's going to lose his alignment a little bit in order to get in position for the next stroke. And then our effect has happened. And so what's pretty cool is if you watch velocity graphs, you're going to see this big increase in speed here. You're going to see a little dip. You're going to see another increase in speed here. And then you'll see another dip as they transition into the entry. So key points are that swimmers have to be good with transitioning into the recovery. They cannot fully straighten their arms. That's going to lead to a loss in speed, and swimmers are going to be in a poor position to take advantage of the wave propulsion. They do need to finish with bent arms. They need to exit with the elbows, and then quickly bringing their legs up so when that wave hits them, it's going to push them forwards. That means free speed. That means faster swimming. So if you have swimmers that are really struggling with their exit, this is yet another reason to make sure that they get that on track. It's not just about ensuring that they can recover the arms more effectively, although that is really important. It's also about maximizing this effect so swimmers can create more speed for less effort, which ultimately means they will go faster. For more on improving butterfly timing, check out the video below.